Question: if Pennsylvania looks affordable, why do so many renters feel broke? Answer: supply. The state ranked 44th in new construction, and in northeastern Pennsylvania rents jumped as much as 81%. Monroe County is the poster child. That math wrecks budgets long before prices fall. In this list, I'll walk you through 10 cities, mapping where restrictive zoning and thin inventory turn a starter home dream into a monthly squeeze. Keep watching to see which markets lure you in with a sane list price, then strand you with costs. And we'll start where the numbers look friendly until the monthly hits, a fast-growing small city. Number 10. Allentown, the starter home with a side of squeeze. You see a list price that feels sane. Then your rent quote lands and you're budgeting like you just added a second car. Here's the thing, Allentown's charm sells itself. Walkable core, revived blocks, quick access to bigger job hubs, and the median looks friendly enough to make you click save. The vibe is real. So is the squeeze. But here's the twist. Builders haven't caught up. From 2017 to 2023, permits added only a few percent to the housing stock, roughly 4 to 5% in the Lehigh Valley, while rents in Lehigh County jumped about 54%, and next-door Northampton soared roughly 52%. Vacancies stay low, so rent climbs faster than your raise. Landlords know every decent unit pulls multiple apps. You end up paying more just to stand still. The revitalization adds another curveball. New restaurants, cleaned-up blocks, and arena buzz pull in cash and attention, but zoning still slows larger multifamily, so the new shine doesn't come with many new doors. It's like a rehab downtown that looks open for business, but the backlot has 5 parking spots for 50 cars. Row homes change hands fast, often to investors who can close quick, while rules keep bigger builds crawling. That means workers hunt for units that never show up. When rent jumps, would-be buyers stretch for entry-level homes, and sellers don't have to budge much off asking. Sale to list gets tight. Your wiggle room vanishes. Now the kicker. Taxes aren't shy. Insurance isn't either. Add a commute if your job sits down the road, and your cheap monthly turns heavy. Affordability erodes because the monthly stack drains you, not the flyer on the curb. And if Allentown feels snug, the brick and campus neighbors next door make the math even tighter. Number 9. Bethlehem. Cute brick, tight supply. Historic charm sells fast. Your budget, not so much. Bethlehem and Easton give you college energy, brick blocks and rehabbed mills that make open houses feel like a lifestyle ad. You get walkable streets and an easy hop to bigger job markets. Buyers love that mix. Sellers do too. Here's the thing. Tight lots and limited permits cap how much new housing can show up. In northeastern Pennsylvania, permits only added a sliver of new stock in recent years. And while Northampton and Lehigh approved more than neighbors, rent still climbed about 54% and 52% since 2017. ADUs aren't common, so the extra units that could ease pressure don't materialize. Result, a short list of rentals and too many applications for each one. When the pool stays shallow, the rent line climbs. Now the kicker. The commuter pull from New Jersey and New York keeps demand sticky. Even when rates tick up, the draw barely fades because the total monthly here still undercuts those states. That's why for sale signs rotate fast and rentals barely hit the market. With roughly 2 months of supply statewide, entry homes in these towns get chased. You won't see deep discounts. The sale-to-list ratio sits near asking, and in competitive pockets it leans over. Sellers don't need to bargain when they have backup offers. So what's the trade-off? Rent burden rises, and the buy versus rent math only tilts your way if you bring strong cash, can hold through rate swings, and can stomach fees and taxes. Think used car sticker that looks fine until you add title, inspection, and the first repair after the lot. On paper, it scans as affordable. In practice, fees, taxes, and scarcity turn it into a slow bleed. Then up the road, the cheap label comes with an even harsher monthly. Number 8. Scranton. Low sale prices, high rent pain. That gap is the trap. The city sells itself as cheap, and on paper the median looks light. Here's the thing, that label hides a fast-rising monthly. Pew found rent jumps that hit up to 81% from 2017 to 2023. Let that sink in. Rent-burdened renters rose from 48% to 58%, and the share spending over half their income climbed from 30% to 38%. Wages didn't keep pace, so the math punishes anyone trying to save a down payment. You pay more just to tread water. But here's the twist. New construction lagged badly, so relief never arrived. Local permits from 2017 to 2023 added only a tiny slice of supply, about 2% in Monroe County, roughly 1.5% in Luzerne, and around 1.6% in Lackawanna. When you add it up region-wide, it's barely 2.5% of the 2017 base. The housing stock skews older, which means roofs, boilers, wiring. Landlords eat higher holding costs and pass them on. Energy bills in drafty units don't help. It's like buying a cheap used car, then funding the repairs every other month. Inventory tightened statewide, with for-sale homes down sharply over the period, and investors spot yield where locals see strain. Redfin shows Wilkes-Barre posting one of the fastest sales price gains year over year, which adds pressure without offering more space to live. Affordability collapses even if you never see a headline about prices crashing. The insight is simple. Wage growth trails rent, savings vanish, and down payments drift out of reach. Households carry the risk, not the listing. And one more layer is coming. When cheap houses double as weekend hotels, your starter home has new competition, and your monthly gets even harder to predict. Number 7. Pocono. Let's shift to the part of the Poconos where cheap branding runs into tight rules. That cozy short-term rental competes with your starter home. In the Poconos, a lot of houses moonlight as part-time hotels. City buyers bring weekend cash, and suddenly a cute cabin looks less like shelter and more like a spreadsheet. The twist is simple. Your lease fights someone's booking calendar. Here's the thing. New building barely moved. From 2017 to 2023, permits only added about 2% to the housing stock in Monroe County, well below the state and national pace. Zoning bakes in big lot sizes. Think 12,500 square feet in East Stroudsburg even in denser spots, and ADUs get the cold shoulder. That blocks townhomes and duplexes that could add entry units. When supply stalls and demand rises, the floor on rent rises too. Seasonality makes it messier. Summer and holiday traffic pulls units offline, then brings them back at higher rates. Year-round renters pay a premium for stability. In June 2025, you had 1,875 homes for sale, but just 282 for rent. Let that sink in. The rental side runs tight, and the average rent jumped 81% since 2017, $1,032 to about $1,870, outpacing the rest of the state. Now the kicker. Insurance and taxes have seen significant increases after flood remapping and rough storm seasons. When carrying costs jump, investors tweak rates, raise minimum stays, or exit. Listings whip around. Volatility lands on tenants first. First-time buyers get the squeeze play, a $359,000 median and $193 per square foot with more bidding, plus higher taxes and insurance than planned. Value here becomes variable, and stability costs extra. Keep that in mind as we head to a metro, where paychecks look steady, but the listing count doesn't. Number 6. Harrisburg. Government jobs. Private market pressure. The money feels steady, the listings don't. You've got government paychecks and a growing suburban ring that reads stable. Then you open a search and watch homes vanish in days. The vibe says safe. The market says hurry. Here's the thing. Permitting trails the people count. Duplexes and small multifamily hit hurdles, so the missing middle stays missing. With inventory running lean, about 2 months of supply statewide and similarly tight locally, pressure builds at the bottom of the market where most first-time buyers shop. Fewer doors, more bids. Redfin flagged a 25.6% year-over-year sales price jump, and that heat shows up where it hurts. Entry homes. The starter tier moves like concert tickets on sale at 10 a.m., gone by lunch. You don't negotiate, you sprint. When inventory sticks near 2 months, every clean, well-priced house draws a line. That pushes sale to list tight to asking, and the leftovers need work you'll pay for later. Renters don't get a pass either. Statewide rent spikes box them in, and regional increases since 2017 mean fewer break into homeownership. Now the kicker. The sticker isn't the bill. Property taxes add weight to the monthly, and insurance isn't shy. Layer that on top of higher rates and your budget loses room fast. It's like buying the base model car and finding every must-have feature stuck behind a paywall. Mini payoff. The jobs smooth out shocks, but affordability erodes in slow motion. Prices up, carrying costs up, wiggle room down. If you're thin on cash, the drift is real. Next up, a market that wore the overlooked badge a little too long, and then the prices caught up before the headlines did. Number 5. Erie. Erie's prices moved faster than the PR. Redfin clocked a 27.7% year-over-year jump in sales price as of June 2025. Let that sink in. 2 months of inventory, and shrinking, means you race for keys while the median sprints. Here's the thing. The supply trickle is real. From 2017 to 2023, Erie County only permitted about 1.3% more homes, while rents rose roughly 40%. New construction runs slow statewide, and Erie inherits the drag. Older stock dominates. That means roofs, furnaces, wiring repairs that don't show on the listing but do hit your wallet. Buyers prefer move-in ready, so dated houses lag or take a price cut later. Rehab costs surprise, and surprises aren't cheap. If wages lag, rent burden creeps up even when the sticker looks cheap. That's how a low base tricks you. A big percentage jump on a small number still beats your paycheck. It's the used car math. The price looks fine, the maintenance kills you. Investors chase momentum because 2 months of supply signals heat. Locals see the flip side. Rents push higher, deposits rise, and the older homes burn more energy in winter. Utility bills and drafty units turn into a second payment. Landlords fold holding costs into the monthly, and tenants eat it. The insight is simple. Fast gains off a low base outpace wages, and thin supply locks in the pressure. Erie's upside is real. But without more doors and better pay, affordability bends. Mini payoff. This underdog runs hot, and the monthly creep hides in fees and fixes, just like the next stop, where a deal on the block comes with a bill at the mailbox. Number 4. Philadelphia. Philadelphia revivals, red tape, and tax math. The row house looks doable, the cafe's on the corner, the train's a short walk. Transit, food, and starter pockets reel you in. You feel like you cracked the big city code. Then the carrying costs say hello. Here's the thing. City Hall was actually built more than most. From 2017 to 2023, Philly permitted roughly 7.2% growth, about twice the statewide 3.4%, and rents still climbed around 30%. Translation, even above average building didn't outrun demand, especially near transit where the starter tier stays crowded. You win keys. Then you meet the monthly. Now the contrast that stings. Suburban counties throttled permits. Delaware added about 1.2%, Bucks about 2.4%, and their rents rose faster, roughly 44 to 47%. So pressure spills across the river towns and back into the city. Fewer new doors where people want to live means more bids for the same blocks. Now the kicker. Property taxes and insurance eat cash flow. Zip by zip. An HOA for a small condo? Add it. A roof on a century-old row? Add that too. The listing price isn't the bill. The bill is taxes, fees, and repairs that stack faster than your raise. Affordability fades quietly when those add-ons outrun paychecks. Renters don't get relief either. Hot sips see bid-ups, renewals jump, and the "I'll just wait it out" plan burns time and savings. Landlords price to what the market will stand. Buyers push for concessions, closing help, rate buydowns, but none of that fixes the tax line. It's like getting a rebate on a car and still paying more for gas every month. Mini payoff. Philly's value is hyper-local, and the math is real. If you want a market where the monthly sometimes favors buying, you'll still need patience. Number 3. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Cheaper to buy than rent, but not a free lunch. The math can look kind on paper. Affordability holds up better than in other big metros, and stability takes some drama out of the cycle. That's the hook. It can feel like you found a cheat code until the rest of the bill shows up. Here's the thing. Taxes run higher than newcomers expect, and the housing stock skews old. You get charm, plus a roof, sewer line, and knob and tube that all want money. Good school districts keep inventory lean, so the few clean listings draw lines. You wait, or you stretch. The eds and meds engine keeps demand steady. Big swings don't show up the way they did elsewhere in 2008. Stability sounds nice, but it doesn't lower your maintenance or your tax bill. A calm market still drains a thin budget if the house needs work the day you move in. Supply adds to the grind. From 2017 to 2023, local permits totaled only about 2.9% of housing stock, well below the statewide pace, and rents still climbed roughly 36%. That's how you end up with steady demand, slow new doors, and a rent line that outpaces pay in key neighborhoods. Sale to list hovers near the high 90s. And while the frenzy cooled, there isn't much slack. Sellers don't cave when they know they'll get close to asking. You're not bidding against 20 people, but you're not stealing it either. Renters feel the same squeeze near jobs and transit. The missing middle duplexes, triplexes, small courts move slow thanks to zoning friction. So you get a two-step hit: few rentals you want, and for-sale stock that needs cash after closing. It's the used car with low miles and bald tires. Mini payoff: steady beats scary, but the monthly still bites, especially in places where the charm runs into land use limits and new neighbors keep arriving. Number 2. Lancaster. Lancaster. Pastoral postcard, urban pressure, barn aesthetic, city pricing trends. You get farmhouse vibes in a small city core that's genuinely lively. Markets, arts, coffee, the whole walkable loop. It feels calm. Then the rent quote lands and reminds you this is a growth market in disguise. Here's the thing: strong in-migration meets slow permitting. Local governments only approved a modest increase in new housing from 2017 to 2023, and it wasn't enough for the people showing up. Farmland protections limit sprawl, and infill runs a maze of small hurdles, so the new door count stays thin even as demand keeps rising. So what's the trade-off? Tight rental market, fewer vacancies, more bids per decent unit. Investors target duplexes because steady demand makes the math work, and locals get outbid on the properties that might have been starter homes. The pool looks calm from far away. Up close, it's crowded. Now the kicker. Median rents climbed about 57% between 2017 and 2023. Let that sink in. You don't need a sale price spike to break affordability when rent eats the raise first. Savings fade, down payments drift, and moving costs hit harder. It's the used car problem. The sticker looks okay. The monthly bleeds you. Commuters add demand because access works both ways. Taxes and insurance layer on top of rent and mortgage, turning the total monthly into the real number that runs your life. Year over year, for-sale prices posted double-digit gains, roughly 14%, and that heat sits right where entry buyers shop. Mini payoff. The postcard stays pretty because the rules keep it that way, and the squeeze shows up in your monthly. Next, we head to suburbs where the drive is easy, but finding a door is not. Number 1. Lehigh Valley. Cheaper house, pricier life. The list price looks calm. Your feed shows tidy ranches and split levels that seem doable, and taxes look lighter at first glance. You feel ahead. You're not. Here's the thing: the long drive tax eats the gap. Transit thins once you clear the core, so you rely on cars and longer miles. Fuel and wear creep up. Winter adds tires, brakes, and a few white-knuckle mornings you didn't budget. The house itself? Older build, bigger lot, higher heating in January. Across Pennsylvania's outer markets, aging stock and deferred maintenance push monthly costs higher than the sticker suggests. That cheap line item just grew legs. New builds stay limited on the fringes, so spillover from Allentown, Bethlehem, and Easton keeps rents rising anyway. People push out for price, then compete for the same handful of decent rentals. Vacancy stays low. Landlords don't chase you with deals. You swap noise for a longer line at the one open unit. Affordability is total outflow, not just the mortgage line. Count gas, time, daycare, late fees when traffic hits, and the oil delivery. It's the used car math. The sticker looks fine, the upkeep is the bill. Services run thin. Fewer rentals, fewer trades on short notice, and stubborn asking prices that don't bend because there's no nearby backup supply. Your safety valve never opens. If a furnace fails, you drive farther and pay more. That calm price screen didn't show the parts run. Mini payoff. The fringe promises value, then the monthly says otherwise. Which raises a tougher question in the small cities up the road. If it's so affordable, why does the monthly still win? Here's the thing. The real collapse isn't a price chart. It's the monthly squeeze. Rents rise, taxes creep, old house fixes stack. Your raise loses. Do this if you want to stay sane. Track supply. Zoning votes, permit speed. ADUs allowed. Those add doors, which cools rent without drama. Prices get headlines. Reforms move the needle. Places that changed rules. Think duplexes. Small courts, simpler permits, saw pressure ease over time. Comment yes or nope if your city feels this. Keep it short. And subscribe, because someday you'll want to escape. Follow where rules change. That's where options show up.